hate when my hair don't really look right. Girl, you doing it. Looking amazing. You know what? I'm so glad I heard that. Hold. I'm accessorizing today, y'all. Looking presentable in front of the camera, y'all. Okay, I'm on here on this Monday. Okay, it doesn't matter what day you see this. Hello, Jules. Today is the first day of school for a lot of these kids. Okay, and there you go, girl. So today I started my 30-day fruit fast. Not just fruits, vegetables as well. I'm doing this for myself. Yes, I'm testing myself in so many ways. And I'm excited. I know I can do it because I'm going to tell you why. I don't eat meat, okay? I don't eat meat. I can have lettuce. I can have vegetables. I can have fruit. So it's a fruit and vegetable fast, right? So today for breakfast, I had two peaches and I tried my hardest to write everything down. And I'm also documenting as far as the lives. That's why I do lives because I like to have stuff down as proof. Drinking more water because I'm gonna tell you something. I know for a fact with me, when I started on my weight loss journey, how it made me feel. And I don't want to start feeling like sad, sluggish, slow, or whatever. So I'm putting myself to a test. When I started my weight loss journey, as far as losing weight and everything, I share with each and every one of you that watched my live. Hit the notification, subscribe, share. I was so serious, all in. I was focused. You know what I'm saying? I had no added stress. Okay. Now, disclaimer, I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna say it like it's in a bad way. I have stress in my life now, and life itself is stressful, right? But I'm not just taking care of myself no more. Okay. I'm all over again a parent. Okay. I have always been a parent, but I'm talking about nurturing and looking after and guidance and being a guardian of my grandchildren. And it's not a burden. Actually, I love it because I have that reason to want to be healthy. I'm saying that this is the truth. I should always want to feel that way, but no, I haven't always felt this way. And I'm feeling this way more so because my granddaughter, she looks up to me. She said the sweetest thing to me yesterday, and it just really made me feel so good when she said, I'm going to share this out too, by the way. I ain't going to forget what I'm saying. Okay, I shared it. I don't know why it's buffering. Let's start it over again. Okay, so I shared it out, and as I was saying, my granddaughter said the sweetest thing to me last night because she started school today. My three grandchildren, they're going to the same school, which that's amazing. But sometimes just because one don't go to school, the other one still has to go to school, right? So she said, "Grandma, thank you." I said, "You're welcome." She said, "You know why I said thank you?" She's 10, okay? She said, "Because you helped me get ready for school." I pulled at my heartstrings, I really did. Sometimes I have to stop for a minute because this shirt, you look like it's so huge. That's because I wear big clothes. These clothes is big. This is not me, okay? And I be like sitting up and sitting down because I can see I have another device over here. I'll be like multi. Here we go. I don't know why this is doing this. You know what? And y'all, I'm all over the place. It may seem I do not like 5G. I'm sorry. I have two cellular devices, by the way, Motorola and Samsung. The Samsung, I have to choose this one first. Both of them are 5G, but I love this one. But the reason I didn't have it, it still has some, it's charged, but mm-mm. So she said that to me, my daughter, daughter, granddaughter. And so, as I say, I'm not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to get on here for a brief moment to let everyone know that I am on a 30-day fruit and vegetable fast. Okay. And I'm taking supplements. I'm going to do it. And my whole reason of wanting to do it is I want to be healthy. Not only that, I know the results is going to just really pay off. I want to take off at least 40 to 50 pounds. As I said, once I repeat, because I said it on here before, once I take that 45 to 50 pounds off, so it can be 45, it can be 50, but however, between 40 and 50, once I take that off, December the 31st, 2023, I will let everyone know what where I started and where I'm at, the present moment at that date and time. Okay, so before New Year's, which is the 31st, which will be New Year's Eve. Okay, we'll say it like that. I will let everyone know I'm on this journey. I call it journey because it's been a journey. But as I was saying previous beforehand, because I'll be all over the place sometimes, recap, I started it for me. I'm doing this for me. That's where it starts. And I'm doing it to be healthy. And I'm doing it because when I first initially started, I felt amazing. Oh my goodness. My self esteem, I wasn't arrogant or cocky, but I felt like you can't tell me nothing. No, I'm just saying in the right way. Um, and I want to get back there. You can tell in my neck, you could just tell. My skin, that's another thing. My skin is just, glowing. But when I stress, I get little bumps and stuff, and that's another thing. I don't want that. I don't. So this is documenting my journey. This is like therapy. This is like sharing. This is so many things to me, and I do this because I don't want to feel alone. I want to have an audience of this shirt is so huge on me, y'all. Okay, now let's take a minute here. No, it makes me look big. I'm not this big. I'm not justified because I know I'm like, whoa, I'm looking and I say, ooh, ooh, no, it's a really big shirt. I mean, it's like real big. So I'm like sitting up here. When I look at my photos, I look at my videos, and I say, ooh. But I'm gonna say this: I don't care. Used to be at the point in time I didn't want to show my arms. I didn't want to show my whole body. I'm getting comfortable with my skin and who I am. I'm not doing this to please no one. I'm doing this for me, my children, and my grandchildren, and of course my dad and my sisters, because that helps encourage them, motivate them, and that's what I like to do. So on the 21st of August, I weighed myself. Let me show you something. I don't know if I showed you all this before. I write down everything. I write down everything. I write down everything I have right here. Oh, goodness, show my address. I have 1, 2, and 3. I write down everything. I have in this one right here is the one I'm focusing on keeping my uh, start weight. For breakfast, I had 2 peaches. That's another thing. I do not want to miss meals. So 2 peaches for breakfast. Lunch, I'm gonna have something, and dinner, fruits. Now dinner might be a fruit and a vegetable. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna do dinner. Fruit, vegetables. I love tomatoes, so I might have some tomatoes. And I don't know if I have cucumbers in there. I think I have some cucumbers. Tomatoes, cucumbers for dinner. I have what I have it there. So I put down breakfast, lunch, dinner, date, weight, and the weight that I took today before I started this. So, as I said on the live this morning, Sunday is gonna be uh might be Saturday. I think I'm gonna weigh myself on Saturdays, okay? Because when Monday come around, I want to be able to see the results between the 2 days and from what I started today. So it'll be a whole week. Okay. So I took my weight today. I'm gonna weigh myself again Saturday. And then I'm gonna weigh myself again Monday. Why I'm gonna weigh myself again Monday is because I want to get on the live on the Minister of Wellness. The Minister of Wellness. He talks about healthy lifestyle. Nothing no one's forcing me, but I tell you this about me. Sorry if y'all, I'm showing my head. I'm gonna tell you something about me. We all got a number, okay? But I still want to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? And testimony. I was almost on 3 blood pressure pills. Got them right down there in that thing. Really, actually, I can take and flush them, or throw them away and take the name off the bottle. Okay. I no longer take blood pressure pills. Mm-mm. I took myself off. Took myself off. What I take is like what I'm about to take now. Well, I don't have to take it till later. The main pill I take, and I'm not gonna lie, is my thyroid, thyroid. Dang, can't even talk. Thyroid pill. Okay, I'm so excited, and when I get like that, I'm just excited. That's the only main pill I take. And I'm sharing that because mm, this is 2023, 13, 14 years ago. Mm, I was 57, okay? Me. For a whole year, which was from, well, let me see here, from 2009 until 2011. I'm going to say that now. So that's about 2 years, give and take. I had lost weight. Me and my oldest daughter was on this. Well, she went to Stand for Life. I didn't go, but I was doing the same, eating just like her. So I was mimicking basically. I was doing so good. Me and my youngest daughter, I was eating healthy. I wasn't eating past was it 6 o'clock or 7? I wasn't eating at all. But here we go. When you have obstacles and things that come along in your life, I'm talking about me, stress, depression, anxiety, emotional eating, I got big. I did. I wasn't happy from 2005 until 2017. I really, truly wasn't happy. And this is me admitting it. Okay, a little in between there, maybe a year, I was okay. But no, 2005, 2010, that's when I ended up, I was married twice and separated from my second husband. My kid's father's in heaven, okay? And no, I don't have no children by my second husband. Thank you, Jesus. I'm not lying. Thank you. All my kids have the same father. That's the way God wanted to be, and myself. And so, 2005, 10, no. My last straw was 2010, January. I was feeling some kind of way. And I didn't know what it was, but I went to the hospital and they did a test because here we go again. And anxiety. They did an EKG on me. EKG. I was afraid. And they came into the room and told me that they was going to give me a nitroglycerin tablet underneath my tongue. For those of you, comment down below if you know what that is. My kids, I have 4. My son's the oldest, all of them in their 30s. My baby is 31. Well, she'll be the end of this month, 28. Saw me go through some things with my second husband, and they didn't with their dad. And I hold myself accountable for that. Because I don't give a damn if it's your mom, dad, mom, step parents. Don't call them stepdad because you got daddy. But it was a person that they respected. I don't care. I'm not bragging. My kids respected this man. They liked him. He was in my youngest daughter's life ever since she was what, about 7? Okay. All my kids' life. He bought all my kids a vehicle. And here we go. My kids respected him, liked him, and probably even loved. At that part, I don't know. But my oldest daughter, and yes, I did say this, in 2006, she literally heard this man call me the BITCH word. Okay. And I told my daughter right then and there, you don't have to say Mr. no more. Because my kids were saying Mr. Yes, sir. Yes, they was. You say this in front of her, she was devastated. And so things kept happening to the point to where he was doing things when my son turned 18 or whatever. It's like he was testing him, his strength. And an incident happened once before, and then I'm gonna push forward on what I'm trying to say about an anxiety. I had a car. It was my car. But due to the fact of if anything happened to my car, my ex-husband was a mechanic and he would fix it. And out of respect for him, my son wanted to take a friend of his home, plus my husband at the time knew him too, and I did too. And he asked me, could he use my car to take him home? Because he could drive, he had license, my son did, and I had insurance. I said, go ask him. I'm not trying to put nobody's name on here. He went and asked my second husband, not my kid's father, could he take that guy home? Did I say we all knew him? He knew him. Just because of that, for whatever reason, he flipped out. Didn't no one do nothing. I heard it. My son just went in there and asked him, could he take him home? Okay. Used to stay down the way, but they ended up moving somewhere else, about probably 5 minutes away or 10, but it was a long stretch. And it was nighttime. He provoked him, and they had exchanged words and stuff. My son had a stick this thick, long stick. It was about that thick. I'm tall. My son's tall. That guy, little bit under me. So I'm in the room. We all in the room, and I stood between them, and I grabbed that stick just like this, because I'm tall. My son is too. He's about to crack his dome. He called the man I used to be married to, the police. The police came. My son broke a lamp that my mom gave me. Oh God, it was one of those touch lamps, but anywho. And he slammed the screen door and it broke. Okay. My son took himself outside to the police officers. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to ask him to come out. He went out there willingly on his own. The police officers know when someone done provoked someone. My son went out there. He's a yes sir, yes ma'am person, right? And when he told them, I don't know what he told them because I was in the house. Evidently, they believed him. Instead of them telling my son to leave, they told that man I was married to leave. They did. And I think reason why is because how many times he was calling. He was calling the police officers so freaking much. And ain't nobody did nothing to him. I'm not sitting up here lying either. My kids had to witness this. Matter of fact, the last straw was, this is what I'm getting to, 2010. I'm fast forwarding now. When I felt that situation, I had the nitroglycerin in the hospital. And, you know, they all about safety. They had a social worker come in there. She was an African-American woman. And me and her was in there by ourselves. And she asked me, was I safe to go home? And I told her yes, because I wasn't afraid. My kids were there. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want my son to end up doing something to hurt this man or any of my kids for that matter. Because my daughters wasn't no joke, right? But they respected him. He went as far as to try to pick on my daughter's husband, because at one time all of us was living together. Get this. My oldest daughter, her husband, I don't care what no one say about them. They helped me through this situation. They always, we split stuff down the middle. They didn't get over. I wanted them to move in. They asked could they move in. He knew they was moving in. He knew they was paying. So we would have a family meeting. And it was my oldest daughter, her husband, me, him, My daughter underneath her sister, the oldest one, my son, his girlfriend, and my daughter's boyfriend. We all lived together. It was a big house, one bedroom. I mean, not one bedroom, excuse me, one bathroom, but it had a master room, kids' room, another room. It had a dining area, living room, and in the back where my daughter and her husband was at, it used to be a garage, but they converted it into, I guess you call it a den, game room or whatever. Then it had a basement. Basement wasn't finished, but it wasn't one of those creepy basement either. It was clean. All of us in this house. So I just named, there was 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of us, occasionally 8. They all seen this. He had my kids thinking that I was in the room, like if we'd be in the room together, that I was doing things to him. And one time he came in the room, I'm sharing this because I'm talking about my journey of anxiety, gain weight gain, and emotional eating. I'm not putting no name on here, but this is my truth and story. I could say whatever I want, right? He had my kids believing that when he came into the room, I was doing stuff to him. He came in the room one time, everybody was in the living room. Like I said, there's all those folks living with us, but you know what? We had 4 TVs. We had the big TV, and then I had a 55-inch, and then my daughter had a TV, and then her and her husband, my other daughter had a TV. He came into the room. I was sitting on my bed looking at TV with my door closed. Like I said, I had a house full of people. I ain't like I had escaped, but I wanted my me time. And then in my room, I had a refrigerator, right? I would keep little things in there, especially like what's that one stuff you put in your water that was from, the drink instead of having soda, pop, juice for the diet. He bought me all that stuff, okay? I bought a scale so I could weigh myself. And Manny, I hope I didn't mean to say his name, but y'all don't know who he is. He helped me with the scale because I didn't know what to do, and that man wasn't helping. He got mad because of that. He came in the room, as I was saying, and he did like this to me. Did just like this to me. I took him and shoved him away from me. He left out of the room and told my kids that I did something to him. They knew he was lying. At first, maybe they probably said, okay, well, maybe mommy is. My kids never had seen me do anything to him. And he would call the police because I told him, could you please leave? I don't want to do this in front of my kids. Don't do this. And he would literally provoke me and instigate with me. He was a very provoker, but he'd go and call the police because he wanted my car keys. This was my vehicle, okay? He thought just because he fixed it, no, you my husband. We always had anywhere from 2 to 3 vehicles, maybe 4, because he would have one for himself. I would have mine. Not saying I couldn't drive his, not saying he couldn't drive mine, but it was still mine, okay? When I met him, he wasn't taking care of me. I had a job where my bank account was the union. My mom made that known to his sister when she ended up coming. My daughter worked. I had 2 jobs. My kids was living with their dad. I was paying child support. We co-parent. Then they came to live with me. We co-parent. They lived with him. They lived with me. I ain't talking about staying, lived. I didn't strip my kids from their father, and he didn't strip them from me. This worked for us. When he paid child support, so did I. I want no deadbeat mom, neither was he. Okay? I'm proud to say that. I'm glad my kids had their father. I'm glad he was the only man that I had children by. And I miss him. And I'm going to continue to say that. Because I love my mom and daddy. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about marriage, significant other, companion, partner. He should have been the only one. And I hate he's not living no more. Because everything I'm going through now, I wouldn't be going through it. And I know this. Not to brag or boast, I'm confident in knowing. So as the doctor came in there, gave me my nitroglycerin, the social worker was in there. She asked me, did I feel safe to go home? I told her yes. He came in, that man that I was married to, I guess to check on me, probably. Then he left out the room. You know what that woman said? And I didn't really tell her nothing, but I was okay to go home. I really wasn't in no talking mood because of my situation, right? She said, that's your problem right there. She said, ma'am, I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say this to you. And she ain't the only one that said this. I had my brother's daughter and my niece's two boys. I used to watch them, babysit them through the state, okay? And I got paid. We used to call it Aquarius conversation because she's an Aquarius and so am I. Her birthday's 10 days before mine, okay? January 30th is mine, hers is the 20th. So I guess you could say she's cuffed, but hey, she claimed Aquarius. And she would literally come in there, sit down, we have a conversation, and not about him, just talking. He'll walk through the door, and I remember she was sitting in my recliner, and I'll be in another area sitting down on the sofa, love seat, whatever. And she said, whoa. And I say to her, what's wrong? She said, why is he looking like that? You see, I paused, right? So that's what the lady said. She said, that's your problem. The doctor came back in there and gave me another nitroglycerin tablet underneath my tongue. And he said these words to me. Well, he came in there and said he got to get another one. Tell me why. Is it left or right? One of my eyes, okay, I'm just saying like that. I think it was my right, because I think it was my right eye. One tear came down. Just one. One. Because typically a lot of people know what nitroglycerin is treated for. You know, people treated for heart attacks or whatever. But they also, a lot of medicines treat you for other things, which was anxiety. Just like steroids, it helps with your heart. A lot of times people don't like being on it because they blow up, gain weight. But also it helps with the heart problems or whatever is going on. Jerry Lewis, the one that did the telethon, he used to take it. Look it up. Is he still living? Well, anywho, that's where my anxiety started. I suffered from anxiety two times that I can recall real bad, and it was when I was in Florida, but I was sick, okay, and my body was doing a whole bunch of stuff, okay, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. Come to find out, that's when I found out I had Graves' disease. Okay, so that helped. That kind of played a factor into that. I'm trying to say, and that was January, about the second one, and the social worker. Okay, I told myself in 2009, before January came. Okay, I said 2010 is going to be different for me, and I'm not going to be with him. Tell me why May came around. I want to say I want to look this up. I want to say the 27th or the 28th. I'm looking into my calendar because I like to be precise. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put, let me see here. No, calendar. Month. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm going with May. 28th. I don't like this phone. Year, holiday settings. Well, anyhow, um, ugh. If anybody know, comment down below. If I want to say it was on a Saturday. Don't quote me wrong on that, but I know it was May 28th because it was his sister's wet. Okay, me, him, and my baby girl, and I call her my daughter too, but my daughter's friend at the time. My daughter had finished school early because she was 17 when she graduated. My youngest, she had graduated, and she asked, or I asked her or whatever. She said, "Mom, can I go with you?" And I said, "Sure." We stopped off before we got on the highway. We stopped at Church's Chicken. We was going to what is it, Minnesota, okay? And then she got married in Wisconsin, so it was like a border. Church's Chicken going, okay? I didn't have no problem with that. Stop at the gas station, probably get a snack or something, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom or whatever, right? So we proceeded to go, and we got where we was at. His family loved me. What no fakery, loved me. We go from Minnesota, not Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. Minnesota. Minneapolis. Minnesota. Yeah, okay. Ooh. And we drove, I want to say maybe 45 minutes to an hour because it was on the border, Milwaukee. And we was going to a hotel that had casino, jacuzzi, buffet. Nice. Nice. His sister called me and asked me, did we want to make some reservations? She was letting me know in advance, one no last minute thing. And I shared it with him and da 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 da. So when we get there, we didn't have no reservations for us, okay? But we was able to get a room, but we wasn't able to go into the a casino part and the buffet because of capacity, right? Mm. We get to our room, everybody on the same floor and everything. A lot of people was there. I had to go to the bathroom, restroom. My daughter and her friend, we had two beds, and they put their stuff away. So I come out the bathroom, and I'm like, "Where is he at?" Mind you, I don't have to put a name on here. They said they didn't know. I think I went looking, like maybe in that front area, but when he came in the room, I said, "Why you didn't let us know where you was going? You don't take nobody nowhere and just drop them off. Like, for real, literally, when I said drop off, we got there and you left." I was okay with that. But as time went on, the day before we left, we was ready to eat. And he gave my daughter and her friend some money to go across the street, literally across the street, to get something to eat. And they did. I was hungry. So he ordered Subways for us. Tell me why he got me a kid sandwich. No, I'm talking about a kid, not the small. They have a kid sandwich, sub, small, medium, large. And he got a foot long, what is it, the cold cut one or whatever, luncheon meat or whatever you want to call it. And I was still hungry. He ate half his sandwich, put it on top of the TV. If I'm lying, I'm being precise on all this. So I'm like, I want to show asking for it. And so we lay down to get some rest, sleep for the night. I wake up. He's not in the bed. Okay. My daughter's is okay. The girl was my daughter at that time because I was responsible for two. Well, my daughter still was a teen, if you ask me, because she was 17 minors. Okay. And I had my child with me. For someone to act like this with me and my child's with me, mm-mm. I got up, went outside, and he was sitting in the car with his niece. That was okay. I didn't have no problem with that. But he got smart with me. And I'm like, are you serious? In front of his niece. And I said some things. Okay. So as we proceed to go home, of course, I don't know if we got, I don't even think we had nothing to eat because I know for a fact when we got home, we dropped us, my kid, my daughter, and everybody off. And then by this time, me and him went to churches again. Okay. I didn't want no churches. Taco Bell was right next door, but you had to go around because there was a wall. Okay. Why didn't you get out to walk? It was a wall. When we was in the line about to order the food, he cut the food. He got flippant and act like really actually I'm just be transparent. Like he didn't want to buy nothing for me and my child to eat. He yelled and acted fool. And this is the honest truth. When we got to the drive-through window, the manager of the store stooped down and looked. He said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I'm saying this while I'm saying all this and being precise. Witnesses. So I was fine. I was cool until I got home. I got out the vehicle and I took my cappuccino. Yes, I did. I'm venting this and I threw it and hit the wall. He wasn't in the house. My daughter was at the computer. I had a dog. And the reason why I say this because he was licking the wall, the cappuccino on the floor and all that. My dog was. His name was Honey. It was mine, but my daughter ended up taking him over because she loved him, but it was my dog. He came in. We had some words. He left. He left. I don't care. Leave. You don't pull nobody and provoke the situation. Leave. He came back the next day because he didn't stay there that night. Now that I find out, he did all this because some woman that he knew in Milwaukee was coming down, and I'm gonna say it had to have been. Uh, this is fast forwarding it. That day he left, came back to the house the next day. Everything wasn't cool, but it was his house still. Okay, I wasn't saying nothing to him. I was being around my kids because I wanted them to witness this. Okay, they was living with me, my son, daughters. He acted fool with everybody in that house. This is the truth. 9 people. Everybody got along with him. He tried to provoke my daughter's boyfriend at the time. My daughter had just graduated medical assistant, and him and her ended up leaving because she was going to go to get something that she was trying to get to nursing or whatever. They couldn't do that because of him. They wanted to remove themselves away from the thing. He tried to provoke my daughter's husband because he was very knowledgeable about computers and downloading and all this different stuff. This happened in 2008. My daughter graduated high school. I graduated, and the same month, May. And then she went with him and came back. And when she came back, no, I'm taking it back. Take it back. She graduated. She did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did go because I got mad because she went right after she graduated. So yeah, I'm right. Then she ended up coming back. He came back with her, and I'm that parent. I'm gonna motivate and encourage you. So she went to medical assistant school, Concord. Okay, and she also told me, Mom, if it's anytime I feel like I want to quit, motivate me. So I did that. Well, anyhow, her boyfriend knew how to do a lot of things with the computer and stuff like that. So he wanted him, 2008, this was, to download some music onto a disc, and he was going to pay him. The young man did that. And when it was time to pay him, he didn't want to pay him. I don't care if that young man was staying in our house. Everybody was working and doing something. My daughter was in school. My other daughter graduated or was going to school but ended up graduating. My other daughter was working, her husband was working, my son was working, and his girlfriend was working. He was the only one, he was working too, and I was too because I was doing childcare. Everybody was doing something. You told this man if he did this, you would pay him. I didn't know because I was in the room, but I found out because I heard some loudness going on. I'm like, what the heck is going on up in this piece? Everybody said the same thing. And my son's friend, he was there as well, and he was a good person. And everybody said the same thing. So I remember my daughter's boyfriend leaving, and he went to the corner, and he hit the post so hard that it knocked the sign off. I'm saying all this, didn't nobody's do nothing to this man. He was trying to start fights, manipulate people, play mind games, and making people think that we was doing something to him. So the last straw, as we fast forward, it had to been 4th of July. Because my youngest daughter went over to my sister's house. And I was at home, and so was he. All of a sudden, he said that he was invited to a barbecue or something. It was in the evening time. I think it was like 6 or 7. I didn't want to go. And I had my reasons because I done been places with him and he showed out, even in front of my family. Serious. Oh my goodness. Whew. As time went on, he had put on, this is because I had joined Facebook 2009, but I didn't start getting on it until 2010. And I was getting on there playing games and Farmville and Fishville and all, Cafe World and all that, because I love games. My sisters now, Lisa on there playing games. So I played games. And, when you friends or mutual friends or whatever, we was husband and wife, it went up. The notification said single. He had wrote on his status for his relationship as single. So I came out the room and I said, "You single now?" So that opened up a can of worms. That gave him a reason to want to leave. I didn't argue. I just asked him a question. He tried to provoke me again. And I asked him to leave. Basically, he wanted to leave, so he left. Come to find out, fast forward, a woman that he met when he went to Milwaukee prior, she had came here for the 4th, and he went to hook up with her, okay? But the last straw was when he said he was going to take his things and leave. I didn't have no problem with it. I ain't going to hold your leg, fight, cry, or nothing. He left because I wouldn't feed into his bullcrap, okay? He came back. The door was locked. He didn't have no key. I got the place. It was ours, but you might as well say it was mine because you left me when we first initially moved over there because you didn't want us to move there. It was a house. We was living in an apartment and the apartment went too far. And I drove past and I seen that it said regular rent or Section 8, right? We was paying regular rent, okay? And I said, ooh. So by this time, I had put myself on Section 8. He don't know this, okay? And it came up. Okay? Came up. That wasn't number God. He left my son, my daughter, oldest daughter, me, and a friend of hers and my son. We used to go out junking. That's what you call it, or dumpster diving. And sell things so I can buy food. Because I had took all my money and paid all the bills to move in there. Let me show you how God works in your favor. I went to make an appointment for the cable guy to come out. And they're supposed to take a deposit fee or whatever. That man waived that fee. He waived it. Don't ask me how much, but I know it was $100 and something to deposit, get it activated. I said, Lord have mercy. Whew, tell me if that ain't God. I'm grateful for the little things, but that wasn't little. That was major because I was supposed to pay the money. He had already. My mom didn't have cable. He asked my mom. He asked me, and he asked my mom, but he asked my mom before me, did she want Dish Network at the time? He went and got the Dish Network in on my name, on it with, calling the place and stuff like that. And I'm like, who does that? Matter of fact, why did they let him do it? You asked my mom, then you told me that she wanted it, but you went and called and had it all set up. So I say that to say I was paying the Dish Network bill because my mama ended up moving out, and that was like making a payment, okay? It wasn't no bill, it was a payment. Same thing bill. And I ended up having to pay a Dish Network bill, cable bill, water, gas, light, trash, cell phones. But at the time, there was the ones you put the minutes on your thing. And my daughter and her husband ended up moving. Well, was they living there then? No, they had moved out and moved back in. That's what it was. I know it was something because they was living there. They moved out because of him, and they was on where they was at for a minute. They didn't like it there, and they ended up moving back. That's exactly what it was. And I wanted a fresh start because he took his stuff out, came back, knocking on the door. I wouldn't let him in. He called the cops again. And then by this time, my daughter and my son came, and my youngest daughter, she was already there because I was sitting in her room on the floor with her door closed. Because I said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm tired. So he called the police. The police came, and he was outside. And an officer came, because it was two, came in the house and asked, because I heard him. He said, where's the lady of the house at? They came and got me, and I stood in the hallway. He said, ma'am, how you doing? He said, can I ask you a question? He said, which vehicle is yours? I said, the one he has his clothes in, which was a van, and we had a Jeep Cherokee. That's the one I've been driving, which they knew I wasn't lying because it was in the back of the Jeep Cherokee with the clothes in it, right? He said, sir, can we ask you to leave? And the reason why, because he's starting right in front of the police officer. Man, I'm telling you. And so when the police officer asked for him to leave and the Jeep Cherokee was still there, because my thing is this, it didn't even have to get to that. I analyzed everything. You could have taken your vehicle, but they asked me which one was I driving, and I told him that one because he had the one with the vehicle, the clothes in the van, because it was probably, I wouldn't even say more room. He always put stereo systems and stuff like that, and they had the stereo and it beats and stuff. So if he really wanted that Jeep Cherokee, I'm just thinking about this as I'm talking. I never thought about this. Why you didn't take your clothes out of the van right in front of the police officer and put them in there? I didn't have no problem. He could have took the Jeep. He was in the van. They seen his clothes, everything in there loaded down. When they told him to leave, he took all of his clothes out of that of a van and threw it up in the sky, and it fell in the grass in the front yard. They told him, "Sir, you need to leave." Okay, so that of course that's documented, right? My daughter, my third child, went outside and gathered all his things and put it in my recliner in my living room. Right when she finished or about to finish, it started raining. It started raining. He left the house, went around the corner, and threatened me. Yes, he did. He said, "That no N word, be in my vehicle or in my house." He was stalking me. He was driving around and everything. I stayed on the main street. Okay, I was the third house on that side. There were none but three houses, and then it was like a stream and some trees and woods and a big, huge backyard, front yard. And he threatened me. Mhm. That was okay. I went and got an expectate or restraining order, one will say. And when I went, they didn't hesitate to give it to me because they seen that the cops had been out prior. I choose to tell this. And I'm saying this because of my anxiety, my weight gain. I didn't love myself. I let myself get big. Okay? Yes, I did. I did. I'm not living no lie. I'm living in my purpose and in the moment that I want to live in to make me feel good for me. I ain't doing this for no one but me. But anything after that will be my grandchildren, my children, my dad, and my sisters. I'm doing it for me. Healthiness, feeling good. I feel good doing it. And I'm going to continue to make these videos because, as I always stated, this whole purpose of this channel, Mona's Vegan Lifestyle, it was Mona Lisa Kelly, but I wanted to put more of a to it, words stick out, lifestyle. So it's about my weight loss journey, life, every day, life, right? I choose to tell this. I say this to anyone that's out there that feel like you're alone. You might be alone. I'm not going to say you're not alone, because sometimes people say you're not alone. You are if you choose to still be there, but you don't have to be. That's the way I want to address it. You don't have to be alone. I was alone so many times. And when I say alone, alone, but I had my mama, my sisters, and my brother at the time. We all stayed around each other. They didn't even know it. And it wasn't because I couldn't tell them. I figured this thing out on my own. My mama always said this: you can tell a person your story, your journey, what you're going through till you're black and blue in the face. But sometimes when you tell a person your story and they give you their advice, opinion, sometimes people act like they get mad because they brought it to that person. That person just telling them out of love. That wasn't me. I just kept it to myself because my mama always said you have to be the one. That's what I'm trying to say. And I was the one. I got out of this on my own. Did nobody say, girl, leave that man, leave that man? No, I left because of my health and my mental state. I was big, huge, unhappy, depressed, sad, never suicidal. And wasn't me. And my mom said, I'm not used to you complaining. She never had a word about me. Never. And I started. I wasn't like that with my kid's father. And I hate he's not here. And I'm continue to say that. He was a protector. Have I ever got disappointed with him? Yes. But not in a way like it was something that I just want to feel like I just want to cuss him out or anything. No, I got disappointed. And I'm pretty sure he might have got disappointed with me too. But we shouldn't have never gotten a divorce or anything. He's not here no more. But we both talked about this thing before he went on to glory. And he apologized and told me, he said he appreciate the way I raised our kids, brought them up and everything. And that made me feel so good because he did. He did. And I will forever be grateful for him to had been a part of my life. So on that note, Jules, help us out there. Don't suffer in silence. There's a test and a testimony. There's a book in all of us. All of us have a story. And I don't want to compare mine to no one. But I'm doing this because at times I feel like I don't have no one. So this is like a journal, okay? But I feel good talking and sharing what I choose to share. And this whole page right here is all about motivation, determination. Sometimes you'll see me put on here videos of verses and Bibles and motivation. You might see food, but I'm trying to stay in that. Okay. Um, little at first, I probably was all over the place with it, but I'm trying to stick with finding my niche. I have another YouTube channel too, but over there, that's a whole different self in itself. Okay. Life, and this one too. So on this day, be you, do you, for you, and most importantly, love you. You are a jewel. And I have to tell people this from time to time, new followers, subscribers, viewers. I say jewels because we all precious. Men, women, children, we love jewelry, right? So I say jewels. I sell jewelry. So that's kind of what gave me the word jewels. You are a jewel. You are a gem, but you are a jewel. And don't forget it. Don't.